Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 2, Julie Insect Valley. Chapter 633 What is a Pure Immortal? 6th of Volume 2. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. What is a pure immortal physique? Xuanhuan's constitution seemed extraordinary, having moved both Shi Zhoujai and Kang Li, two figures of unfathomable cultivation, to action. Li Wei couldn't help but ask. Zhao Zhizuo explained to Kang Li, they haven't undergone formal martial arts cultivation. They've been exploring on their own. As for young brother Xuanhuan, he seems to have had a recent stroke of fortune that transformed him into a pure immortal physique. Kang Li didn't doubt this. Someone who would ask such a basic question couldn't possibly pose a threat. He explained to Li Wei, the world has always been unfair, with people divided into tiers. Ordinary humans, aberrant humanoids, and pure immortal physiques are the three main human races. Aberrant humanoids make up roughly 1/10 of the ordinary human population. Some inherit their traits through bloodlines, while others ingest the blood of ancient immortal giant beast descendants, developing bestial characteristics. For example, some grow wings, others claws, and still others tails. Not only do their appearances undergo drastic changes, but their bodies also tend to become abnormally large due to the influence of the ancient immortal giant beast blood. Consequently, at the same cultivation level, aberrant humanoids are often significantly stronger than ordinary humans. Pure immortal physiques are even rarer, making up perhaps 1 in 10,000 of the ordinary human population, or even fewer. In all of Li Province, among those aged 15 to 30, the total number of pure immortal physiques barely reaches 100. Each one is renowned, a symbol of heaven's favorite child. The emergence of a pure immortal physique can result from various factors: bloodline inheritance, consuming rare treasures and herbs, drinking the blood of ancient immortal giant beasts, or being nurtured by immortal soil. There are countless reasons. Some individuals even achieve this transformation simply by breaking through a cultivation realm without any special preparations. Pure immortal physiques possess skin as flawless as jade, or perhaps like crystal, silver, or porcelain. Female pure immortal physiques are as ethereal as celestial maidens, while males are as handsome and noble as saints. They are the favored child of the heavens, their bodies flawless, their skin like jade, and their bones extraordinary. Their cultivation talent is invariably top tier. Any pure immortal physique is inevitably sought after by major sects for discipleship and becomes a prime target for marriage alliances among influential families. This is not only due to their exceptional appearance and cultivation talent but also because their offspring have a chance of inheriting the pure immortal physique. At the same cultivation realm, countless instances exist of pure immortal physiques crossing realms to kill ordinary martial mystic cultivators. This feat has become almost commonplace. Failing to achieve such a feat would make one a laughingstock in the immortal forest. The immortal forest is a realm accessible only to those with pure immortal physique, martial mystic cultivators, and spiritual mind masters. To put it bluntly, among the world's most elite cultivators, the number of pure immortal physiques and aberrant humanoids is only slightly less than that of ordinary mortals. In other words, the cultivation talent of aberrant humanoids is nearly 10 times that of ordinary humans. As for pure immortal physiques, saying 1,000 times might be an exaggeration, but the difficulty of becoming a top-tier powerhouse is indeed 1,000 or even 10,000 times easier than for ordinary humans. The Kandli tribe had suffered significant losses in the battle at Burial Immortal Town, with several promising martial mystic cultivators falling in combat. But unexpectedly, here, they had stumbled upon such an unexpected treasure. Kang Li was overjoyed. If Xuanhuan's cultivation level had been high, Kang Li might have harbored some suspicion. But the complete lack of any cultivation traces was simply perfect. Kang Li turned to Li Wei and said, the Kandli tribe still has one remaining spot. I intend to bring him into the Zhuli Dao Academy for training, preparing for the Mengshan Grand Festival in 6 months. But first, he must join the Kandli tribe as a formal member. Could you ask him if he's interested? Li Wei understood that Kang Li had deliberately emphasized the last remaining spot to make his intentions clear. He trusted Kang Li wouldn't deceive him, but a pang of disappointment still struck his heart. Was the gap between ordinary humans and pure immortal physiques truly that vast? In an instant, the disappointment vanished, replaced by renewed determination to face any challenge life might throw his way. Kang Li had said that ordinary humans still outnumbered aberrant humanoids and pure immortal physiques among the top-tier powerhouses. The path ahead would simply be more arduous. But the path was still there. The two communicated in their hometown dialect. Joining the Kandli tribe. Of course. I'd be thrilled. Xuanhuan said excitedly, what about you? Will you come with me to the Zhuli Dao Academy to cultivate? Will cultivation make me as powerful as you? Li Wei smiled. My cultivation is nothing to speak of. You have a pure immortal physique. You're destined to surpass Shi Zhoujai and reach even greater heights. Xuanhuan's heart burned with excitement, unable to contain his surging emotions. Li Wei said, I can't go right now. I need to return to the bronze ship first to pick up the research team members. Once everything settles down, I'll bring the first mate and the others to Zhuli City to see you. Then I'll go with you. We can pick up the research team members together and then head to the Zhuli Dao Academy, Xuanhuan said. Li Wei shook his head. First, the young clan leader of the Kandli tribe and his people are leaving at noon today. They can't wait. Second, to conceal the existence of the bronze ship and our true identities, you must go with them first. Otherwise, I fear they might secretly dispatch experts to protect you, thus tracking us. Third, it won't be easy for so many of us to establish ourselves in a foreign land. If you achieve prominence at the Zhuli Dao Academy, won't we be able to stand taller within the Kandli tribe? We each have our roles to play, and we must work together. Xuanhuan found Li Wei's words persuasive. The phrase, achieve prominence, struck a raw nerve within him. He emptied all the money pouches he had looted from corpses into Li Wei's hands. I won't need these, following the young clan leader. Take them all. As the saying goes, no longer beasts of burden, nor mere livestock. We'll meet again at the top of the world. As they left, Li Wei and Zhao Zhizhuo sat on either side of the carriage. To become someone truly superior, one must endure decades of arduous cultivation. But a pure immortal physique is born superior. Zhao Zhizhuo cracked his whip, glanced at Li Wei, and asked, feeling dejected. At first, yes. But now, I'm even more determined. Li Wei replied with a smile. Whether Li Wei was being genuine or forcing a smile, Zhao Zhizhuo explained, the requirements for entering the Zhuli Dao Academy are incredibly strict. The 9 great tribes' quotas have long been allocated. Because the Mangshan Grand Festival on the 9th day of the 9th month, 6 months from now, is approaching, the current Dao Academy entrants were handpicked by their respective tribes for a final push. The benefits of these 6 months in the Dao Academy are immense. Guidance from renowned masters and unrestricted access to ancient texts are secondary. The most crucial advantage is the saturated supply of cultivation resources, with no upper limit. You could say that even within the Kandli tribe, everyone is envious. It's a cutthroat competition for every single spot. The vacancy arose after a selected candidate perished in the Burial Immortal Town incident. Of course, the most important thing is that any pure immortal physique is guaranteed to achieve a result in the Mangshan Grand Festival, helping the Kandli tribe secure benefits. Where else would you find such a good opportunity? Old Zhao, how do you know so much about the Zhuli Dao Academy? Li Wei found it hard to believe that Zhao Zhizhuo, who had only opened his second spring, would have had any connection to the academy. Zhao Zhizhuo gave a bitter smile, as if recalling something from the past, with a hint of self-satisfaction and pride. In my youth, this old man was selected to study at the Zhuli Dao Academy. During the Mangshan Grand Festival back then, I even secured an excellent result for the Kandli tribe, earning me the title of tribe's glory. But later. Never mind, why dwell on painful memories? Ha. Ha. He clutched his chest, gasping for breath before continuing, otherwise, why do you think I'm able to speak with the young clan leader and Miss Ling? Li Wei realized his guess had been correct. Zhao Zhizhuo had indeed suffered a major setback and endured great hardships, which had led to his current despondent state, complete lack of fighting spirit, and tendency to exaggerate his suffering. After careful consideration and organizing his thoughts, Li Wei said, Old Zhao, life is hard, but as long as we keep moving forward, we can overcome any obstacle. Cultivation isn't actually that difficult. At least, not as difficult as you might think. Why not start over? Zhao Zhizhuo listened to Li Wei's words, but only nodded with a smile. If he hadn't possessed immense willpower and chosen to walk the path of cultivation again, how could he have cultivated the second spring within him? Seeing the sorrow and pain in Zhao Zhizhuo's expression, Li Wei realized his words had been somewhat presumptuous and that he couldn't smooth things over. He quickly changed the subject, asking, Old Zhao, have you ever heard of Chanhai Guanwu and Xuanhuan? Zhao Zhizhuo furrowed his brow in thought. Li Wei added, they should be ancient figures, not from this era. If you say they're ancient figures, that makes sense. Zhao Zhizhuo replied, 1,000 years ago, there was indeed a supreme expert named Chanhai Guanwu, the palace master of the Lingxiao Soaring Cloud Palace and the strongest cultivator in this realm. Her disciple, Yu Yaozi. Never mind, it's best not to mention that name. It's a taboo, and the current decade of chaos was all caused by her. Li Wei was moved. He hadn't expected Chanhai to have such a terrifying background. He immediately asked, what about Xuanhuan? Zhao Zhizhuo pondered carefully before shaking his head, indicating he'd never heard of him. That's not right. Based on Xuanhuan's tone on the bronze ship, he didn't seem weaker than Chanhai Guanwu in his life. After purchasing a supply of food in Yaoguan City and loading it onto a carriage, Li Wei and Zhao Zhizhuo parted ways on the banks of the Shui River. Zhao Zhizhuo said, "It really not necessary for this old man to accompany you to fetch your companions. You're still recovering from old injuries and new wounds. It's best for you to stay in Yaoguan and rest. I'll fetch my companions and meet you back here. Then we can travel together to the Kangli tribe. Li Wei had requested 2 favors from young clan leader, Kang Li. First, he wanted to resolve the Kang Li people status of his dozens of refugee companions. Second, he sought cultivation manuals. The first matter was easily handled by Kang Li, who entrusted it to Zhao Zhizhuo. The second was already handed over to Li Wei at the Zaome Manor. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel.